It is said that in China you can't question the government, but you're allowed to question Darwin. On the other hand, in America you are very free to question the government, but you can't question Darwin. Well, in this episode we are not going to rock Darwin's boat. We're going to sink it! Darwin's famous book, Origin of Species, actually had a longer title than that. If we look at the 1859 title page, we read, "On the Origin of Species by Means of Natural Selection, or the Preservation of Favored Races in the Struggle for Life." Preservation? Whoa! Hold on just a minute. This word is very important. Is natural selection a preservative? Assuming that Darwin's term favored races is a reference to favored biological variations, let me ask that question again. Does the very real phenomenon of natural selection preserve mutated life? Darwin got this completely backwards. Natural selection filters, culls, and kills. It does anything but preserve. Coherent networks of biological systems that already exist in an organism certainly cause organisms to survive and reproduce, but natural selection is all about the death of the unfit. Natural selection does not preserve. Instead, it destroys members of a population with low survival value or reproductive value. This is observable science. Give this a little thought and you will realize that Darwin hung his entire argument on this concept that natural selection can accomplish preservation of variations. It's right there in his book title. But he was wrong. Completely, utterly wrong. Of course we see natural selection in operation everywhere in the biological world. Weak things die. So what? If viable biological systems did not already exist before natural selection selects anything, there could be no survival of anything. So natural selection can only serve as a filter, removing the unfit. It culls out the weak, removes variations that cannot already reproduce. But has a culling mechanism ever grown lumber? Has an operation that culls oranges ever created an orange? Does culling garbage build anything? The fact is that natural selection works more like a doctor whose only tool is a shotgun. Now, such a doctor could shoot all the sick people and possibly claim that he'd transformed the remaining population to wellness. And by the way, even this idea assumes that a wide variety of other dangers besides that bad mutations didn't ever kill the healthy people. But in any case, shooting sick people doesn't help individuals evolve into X-Men, not even slightly. Conclusion? If natural selection did somehow act as a preservative, many obstacles to evolution would still remain. But given that natural selection culls rather than preserves, well, the evolution model is rendered powerless from the outset. What about you? Have you been assuming that natural selection preserves life forms? Think again. Evolution is impossible for many reasons, but it only takes one.